Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Bailey, but you can call me Bay, and today we are going to be doing a character redesign challenge. So, when thinking about this, I tried to go back and find the oldest character that I had drawn. As you can see in the bottom left hand corner, this is what I seem to find on my old Deviantart. This character here is a Naruto OC. I think her name was Alexis, something like that, and she was a part of the Uchiha clan. So I've got her youngest self, I think that was like 9 or something, I can't read the number, 13, and then 16. So I went with kind of about the 16-year-old. I felt that was probably a better pick, because let's be real, she's not really that good in general. If you look in the picture, you can see that she's got some ears and a tail. I think when I created this, I was trying to incorporate her with like the demons, or you know how Naruto has the Kyubey in him. Well, I remember there being like a two-tailed cat, which apparently I only drew one tail. And I wanted her to have that because I wanted her to be more interesting to the story I was doing with my friend, and that didn't really work. So what I did, I drew all these traditionally initially just to kind of get the ideas out there. I tried to design 3 different outfits, 3 different styles to see what I liked, what I didn't like. The first one I drew, I wasn't too fond of. I tried to keep her hair down, but I wasn't really liking it. I took inspiration from, I believe it was Tenten for her outfit, but I didn't really enjoy it still. The second one, I tried to give her a jacket, something like that to cover. I thought maybe it'd be a little more suiting. I still kept her pants the same, and same thing with her belt. Or not her belt, her kunai pouch. And I tried to keep her hair down again. This time I wanted to incorporate her headband, which I forgot in, I believe, the first one initially. No, I did put it in there. Because I know a lot of them wear it on their head, and I should put it on her head. I didn't really like it around the waist, but I found even when I drew it on her forehead, I didn't really enjoy it either. Just kind of looked out of place. Kind of made me feel like she had a really big forehead. For the third one, I wanted to try something different with her hair, maybe keep her outfit a little similar to what she was wearing in the original drawing. So I played around with it a little bit to see if I could make her kind of capture what she used to be. I remember she wasn't super serious or anything. She was pretty playful, and she was a little cringy in her own way. I guess I kept her kind of not polar opposite to Sasuke, but I tried to bring a little life into the dynamics there. Now that I think about it, she was romantically paired with Sasuke. Why did I make her part of the clan? That's a little weird. Probably should have thought that one through a little bit more. So with her shirt, I didn't do anything complicated. I gave her a little bit of a turtleneck and like a V cut around her chest. And I generally liked her hair, so I think that's more or less what I went with. I didn't bother incorporating the sketch of the pose because that's what takes me the longest, and the video would have been just me frustrated with the whole sketch the entire time. But I tried to go something a little more dynamic, kind of keep it more interesting than just drawing the flat character. My initial sketch was just, the girl standing there with like the kunai in her hand, and I was like, nah, that's boring. I don't really like that. So I tried to keep it a little more interesting. I admit I struggled with the hands. Not this one, you'll see a little later which hand I struggled with. I didn't even feel I got it right after that. It just looked really wonky. Oh, yeah, you can see I'm going down to the hand there. No matter what I did, I just couldn't seem to get it right. But I knew if I fiddled with it all day, I would never get this done. So I just kind of made it the best I could and went from there. As you can see, I sketch in blue on the computer and red in traditional. I never really liked the blue pencil lid. I've tried it before. The red I find is easier for me. And I redraw her face so much. Or parts of her. I don't typically like to draw the clothes first. I try and get the general outline of the character done first. I find it makes it easier for me to to draw the clothes on top. I find if I'm trying to draw the clothes first, I just fiddle with it too much. I get confused, I mix up my proportions. Apparently I didn't like what I drew there. And I struggle with the chest here quite a bit. I couldn't quite figure it out with the pose. I remember not liking that at all. I'm pretty sure I go back and redraw it because I was so frustrated with it. But overall, I was pretty happy with the pose. I think it turned out pretty good. And afterwards, I went back in with a blue marker kind of tip and drew everything else in. I drew her hair in, her clothes in, didn't like the eye. Kind of get an idea where it would sit on her body. And I find this easier for me to do than trying to muck around. Though I like the pigtails. I'm not 100% happy with where I placed one of them, or apparently her body there. So I just I think I wanted to hide part of the body that I didn't really like what I drew, and it was just easier for me to do it this way. I kind of regret picking the pose I did because I didn't really get to show her clothes very much like in the front, but I suppose it's not necessarily that important. I just kind of wanted to make her look a little better, make her look like she fit in a little more with the worlds. Once I color her, you'll see I didn't pick the best color for her hair. I tried to keep her at least colors more or less similar to what she was in the original drawing. Not that you saw a colored version. Back then I didn't really like to color. I'd fine line stuff and upload it that way, or I would try and color it, and I think I used Photoshop back then. And I never ended up finishing that one. It was too messy. But I do remember her hair was this bright, obnoxious blue, and initially when I drew her, I based a lot of her around Sakura, like with her hair and stuff. I remember I used to do edits of Sakura all the time because I couldn't figure out how to draw her. They weren't that good. I mean, to me at the time, they looked really good and I was really proud of them, but I like what I drew more, even though it's like super old and super sketchy. I've always wondered how these were attached. Like, when I looked at pictures, it just looked like they were attached by, like, just tape or, like, fabric, something like that. But you never really saw how they were attached. Oh, yeah. I think after trial and error, I think I got the chest more or less right for what it would be. But I'm not 100% sure if I really managed to get what I wanted out of that. Pants I kept simple. I didn't want anything complicated. And let me tell you how much I hate Naruto shoes. Oh my goodness. I hate these shoes. It forces me to draw feet, which I suppose isn't a bad thing. But I'm not very good with feet, so I wasn't satisfied with the feet specifically, but the drawing overall I was. But something about these weird sandals, they look uncomfy. They're annoying for me to draw because of the feet. And they're just such a deep color of blue. They just look really weird on everybody's feet. And I just find it odd that everybody has the same kind of shoe in the whole village. I don't know. Honestly, when I was that age, and even still, I try not to draw feet. And if I should work on that. But if I do draw feet, they're usually just Converse. So drawing the weird sandal was a little strange. As you can see, I go through and I erase all the lines and of where like the clothing intersects. So that way it was easy enough for me to just add in the clothes. I've always done this once I got to digital media. I don't know. Just easier for me. Added a little bit of detail here. Nothing super fancy, just a couple seam lines, because let's be real, no matter where or what universe you're in, you've got seam lines. And I didn't like her chin. It looked like it was protruding a lot. So I went in and edited her hair just to make it look a little nicer. Still looks a little odd, but I was pretty satisfied with it. And as you can see, her hair is very blue. Even in the original, her hair was just blue. It's my favorite color. I think I kept it and ran with it. It looked the best to me. I didn't feel like changing it. I mean, Sakura has bright pink hair. I didn't think it was that out of place, and I'm pretty sure there's some characters later on in like Shippuden that have the bright blue hair. As you can see, I'm frustrated with the bucket tool. I keep I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I do this like 3 or 4 times. I just couldn't figure out where my broken lines were. So I threw down a green background to kind of help figure out where I was putting the whites and maybe see where my lines are broken a little more. I mean, I do this every now and again when I get frustrated. I just find if I have a bunch of white, it makes it easier. Oh yeah, this is one of the spots. I could not figure out where the broken line was. Just every time I seemed to click on it, it would just fill the whole screen. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. But because her hair was so bright, I kept her colors pretty flat. I kept them to blacks and grays and, cool colors just to, I don't want to put her in like a bright purple or a red or anything. I felt like it would look really weird. And I guess because since her original alignment was with the Uchihas, I felt it was more suiting. But I didn't want to leave her eyes just black like Sasuke's are. I didn't really like that. With the shading, I don't really do anything complicated. I'm still learning a lot of light source things. So what I did was I do overlay layers because I'm lazy. Let's be real. But I find they get the effect across quite well. And I think I picked a super deep blue and went over where I could. I unfortunately didn't notice until after I was recording the video that I had missed going back on the white because it did not show. I liked the way it looked on the hair. Yeah, I think it suited the hair probably the most. And the bucket tool it wasn't working with me in this. I also, later on, I realized I forgot to add the shine in her eyes until afterwards, so when I post the finished product on my Twitter, you'll see that I went back and edited that in. Overall, though, the blue looked really nice with the overlay. But, shading the hand, I didn't do too good. It was okay. I couldn't quite figure out how the shadow would work with her hand there. I guess if I picked a better light source, it maybe would have looked a little better. But I really like the deep blue that came out with the shading. It looks really nice to me. For the lighting, just for that, I picked kind of a greenish yellow. I went over it. It looked bad. So I went a little more like a dark yellow, and it seemed to shine pretty well over top of everything. I just wanted some light accents, something to show that there was a little bit of light. I didn't want to go crazy with it. Unfortunately, with the pants, it came out yellow, so I had to go back and pick like a dark blue or a dark gray just to go over that to kind of give the light source there. I didn't want to go too crazy just because this is just supposed to be a quick challenge. Oop, that was sloppy. I realized that afterwards I forgot to shade the shoe and the feet. But I wanted to keep it nice and simple just because it wasn't meant to be anything extravagant. I just kind of wanted to see what she'd look like now. And overall, I think I am pretty happy with it, despite how it may have seemed. I loved this character when I created her. She was so fun to RP, and she was just... I was into Naruto for probably like 3 years, and I just loved it. For background, I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of... My friend made my brushes for me, like the airbrush, and I love it. So I just kind of did like a simple swash in the background. I fiddled with the color. I didn't really like the green. I didn't like the yellow, but I felt the purple was a nice pop of color. It went with the blue. So I went with that. Wasn't too happy. I was like, this is a little plain. So I just went through because I realized afterwards I forgot to draw her headband in this picture. I have no idea where it was supposed to be. I think it was originally around the waist. I'd have to look at the sketch. But I just added in what village she was from in the background. Kind of keep it, I don't know. Since I forgot, I keep it a little simple. But otherwise, that's the two together. I think it turned out pretty good, all things considered. I think she looks a lot better than the original sketch. I'm so glad oh, she's wearing headphones. I'm glad I took out the headphones. I took out the ears. It just overall looks better. I changed her pin from a butterfly just to a regular clip. It just seemed to suit more. I don't remember what the significance of the butterfly was. And I got rid of that stupid tattoo. I think she was part of the Akatsuki or something like that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to sharing more art with you later. Bye!